Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all of you. I'm so sorry it started at 1:15, but I'm rushing from one place to another place, so I was late for only 2 minutes. I would like to thank all of you for joining us at this donor appreciation event, where we come together to celebrate our shared commitment to advancing socially and environmentally sustainable human settlement. A warm welcome to each and every one of you, and heartfelt thank you for your unwavering support to me, to UN Habitat, and to the mandate that's given to us by all of you through the General Assembly. So from humble beginnings in 1975, as the United Nations Habitat and Human Settlement Foundation, with a mere initial budget of $4 million, over 4 years, UN Habitat has come a long way. Today, we proudly secured an average annual funding of nearly $180 million. Since 2020, we have successfully mobilized over $500 million for the implementation of our current strategic plan, demonstrating the strong demand for our expertise and services in sustainable urban development. None of this would be possible without your generous support. I would like to express our deep gratitude to all member states that have provided non-earmarked voluntary contribution to UN Habitat. Since 2020, UN Habitat has received non-earmarked voluntary contribution from 41 member states, namely Azerbaijan, Norway, United States of America, China, Malaysia, Germany, France, Mexico, South Africa, Angola, Kenya, India, Republic of Korea, Turkey, Spain, Namibia, Japan, Italy, Philippines, Botswana, Nigeria, Egypt, Tanzania, Sri Lanka, Kiribati, Senegal, Barbados, Guinea, Singapore, Malawi, Portugal, Mauritius, Algeria, Mali, Czech Republic, Pakistan, Burkina Faso, Dominican Republic, Israel, Rwanda, and Myanmar. Out of this, 15 member states consistently contribute to our core budget, of which we are immensely thankful. In 2022 alone, we received an exceptional total of $7.3 million in non-earmarked voluntary contribution from 24 member states. This record-breaking figure more than double the amount received in 2021, resulting in a surplus of $6 million in our core fund for the first in 12 years. You need to continue to help us. So far, in 2023, we have already received $1.3 million in non-earmarked voluntary contribution from 15 member states. Your early remittances and the continued support are deeply appreciated, as they allow us to plan and organize our work effectively. With the approved core budget of $3 million and scalability model up to $12 million, we rely on your support to deliver our work program successfully. In addition to non-earmarked funding, we are pleased to see more partners adopting the soft earmarked funding model. Sweden, Switzerland, Germany, and China has contributed a total of $32 million through this approach. While this soft earmark fund represents a small portion of our earmark funding, they are incredibly valuable as they provide with flexibility to allocate resources where they are needed most. Some of these soft earmark funds have also served as seed funding to catalyze greater contribution from our partners. A shining example is the Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency, or SIDA. A small portion of their overall funding supported our normative terms which enable us to secure 3 adaptation fund projects worth $32 million for our Rise Up program, as well as $4 million funding from the Foundation Botna for Youth Initiative in 2022 alone. Through this partnership, we have become more effective in delivering our mandates and achieving significant changes in the sub-program level, aligning with our strategic plan, and we anticipate further partners coming on board to embrace this soft earmark funding modality. Over the past decades, the demand for UN Habitat technical support and services has remained consistently strong. Every year, we receive an average of over $165 million in earmark fund from our donors and partners, making a profound impact in more than 100 countries and transforming the life of millions of people in the last decade. As part of our resource mobilization strategy, we have worked hard to diversify our donor base. In 2022, 11 out of top 20 donors of earmark funds were non-member states, including foundation, businesses, local authorities, civil society organizations, and others. Notably, our strategic partnership with local authorities have yielded promising results. We received funding of $7.7 million from 15 local authorities in 2022, a significant increase compared to 2021, more than tripling the contribution received and doubling the number of local authority donors. One of the champions from our local authority partners is our Fukuoka partners, particularly the governor of Fukuoka. I want to extend my sincere gratitude to their uninterrupted soft earmark public-private partnership funding from Fukuoka for the past 26 years. Another noteworthy collaboration is with the regional government of Extremadura and the Basque government, who support us in establishing the Local 20 Coalition Secretariat in Bilbao, Spain. We look forward to more local authorities exploring strategic partnership with us to achieve the SDGs. We are also grateful for the support that we receive from the private sector, foundation, philanthropies, and others. I want to highlight our collaboration with the Sustainable Human Settlement Foundation, which holds tremendous potential. Later in the event, we will have the privilege of hearing from Grant Rogan, my friend, the co-founder and the CEO of this foundation. We are delighted to witness an increasing level of support for our flagship program. One notable example is the SDG Cities program, which has garnered the attention of the Office of the Secretary General of the United Nations in the preparation of the SDG Summit. This program has received contribution from member states for its impactful activities at the country level. Norway, for instance, has contributed $5 million towards the SDG Cities National Hub in Ghana. We are also seeing growing interest from philanthropic and impact investment sector for SDG Cities program today, and we are honored. Yesterday and today, we have also honored to have Luisa Trajano's team here, who have pledged to mobilize $50 million for the Women-Led City Initiative by September this year. Last but certainly not least, I would like to express our gratitude to our valued donor and partners who have provided both financially and in-kind support for the organization of the second session of the United Nations Habitat Assembly. We extend our heartfelt appreciation to Kenya, Egypt, Finland, Turkish Airways, Kenya Airways, Trade Architects, Kenya Association of Manufacturers, and the BOE Technology Group and Ethos Invest. Our journey to this point would not have been possible without your support. And with your support and more support, I am confident that we can flip the script by demonstrating that urbanization is a force for good. Together, we can build a better urban future for all. with sustainable and inclusive human settlements at the heart of our effort. Thank you once again for your unwavering commitments to me, to UN Habitat, to our mandate. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Edie. And indeed, the journey here would not have been possible without your support. So now let's watch a video to have a look at our journey here.
Over the past few decades, UN Habitat has been empowered by the voluntary contributions and financial support of governments and other partners. We have come a long way here. Without your invaluable support, our journey thus far would not have been possible. Thanks to the member states, UN Habitat has received a total of $47.1 million non-earmarked voluntary contributions in the last decade. In 2022 alone, we achieved a record-breaking acquisition of $7.3 million in voluntary contributions from 24 member states. This milestone allowed us to attain a surplus in our core fund for the first time in 12 years. To enhance the delivery of our mandates, we are embracing the innovative approach of soft earmarked funding. We are delighted to see an increasing number of donors adopting this funding model, amounting to a total of $32.27 million. This has unlocked greater potential for us to fulfill our mission of creating a better urban future. The demand for UN Habitat's technical support remains consistently high. Over the past decade, UN Habitat has received earmarked fundings of over $1.6 billion, supporting projects in more than 100 countries worldwide. More and more diverse partners are joining us for our common journey. Since 2013, we have received a total of $578 million from other UN agencies, intergovernmental organizations, local authorities, civil societies, and the private sector together. We are also engaging with a large number of partners and stakeholders through various events, such as the World Urban Forum and Urban October.
We need to support the young people. With that one, we can live a better life.
We strive to deliver more. We are exploring innovative financing mechanisms to amplify the impact of UN Habitat and benefit more people around the world. Collaborating closely with our partners, we have established the Cities Investment Facility and the Sustainable Human Settlement Foundation to address the financing gaps for the global efforts of advancing sustainable urban development. Cities continue to grow, and the future of humanity is undoubtedly urban. Urbanization as a global megatrend is intertwined with the existential global challenges. However, cities are also the center for economy, production, innovation, and trade. Urbanization, if harnessed well, is a transformative force that helps us to overcome the global challenges and achieve the sustainable development goals. The journey will not be possible without you. Together, we will shape a future where the boundless possibilities of urbanization lead us towards a world of shared prosperity, sustainability, and collective well-being. We invite you to stay with us, to be a driving force for positive change as we navigate the road ahead and make a lasting impact on the world.
Here at Ethos, we believe financial services will have a huge positive impact on people's lives. That's why we're proud to support the Sustainable Human Settlements Foundation and to help UN Habitat in its mission to promote transformative change, cities and human settlements.
Hope you all enjoyed the video that briefly took us through the journey that's been made possible with your support. Now let's give the floor to you and hear voices from donors. So we have our distinguished delegates, His Excellency Mr. Guliev. Do you want to have an intervention, please? Rizva, we have the microphone. Here. Okay, our ED has her busy schedule, so
I wish I can hear your intervention and also your pledges. But I have to go, colleagues, there, because I have another one which I have to speak at the housing. It's also a very important session. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
Thank you, Edie, and thanks everyone for being here. You want to come here?
Dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned yesterday in my statement, we're pleased that our partnership with UN Habitat is strengthening further. Azerbaijan is actively supporting several important initiatives, including those under the non-aligned movement, as well as several UN programs and agencies. However, I consider our cooperation with UN Habitat to be of special value given paramount importance of SDG 11 for my country. As some of you may know, Azerbaijan is currently undertaking a major post-conflict reconstruction and rehabilitation effort in the conflict-affected territories, with 4.7 billion USD allocated for the purpose this year alone. We believe UN Habitat to be one of the leading international partners in making sure this process is factoring in values and advantages of SDGs. In the meantime, we are convinced with what UN Habitat does is also vitally important for the global development. We look forward to welcoming our colleagues to the Urban Week, which will take place in Azerbaijan at the end of September, early October. As some of you already know, it will include the World Habitat Day, the second National Urban Forum, as well regional ministerial meeting. Let me reiterate, Azerbaijan will continue exploring options for supporting UN Habitat, hoping our cooperation will continue to grow. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now we have the honor to hear from Germany. Welcome.
So my thank you expressed to Madam ED and here in the room now, Excellencies and distinguished colleagues. Thank you very much for the invitation. It's okay, so it's better? Thank you. To this very important and insightful meeting here today. First, I would like to take the opportunity and express our appreciation to Madam ED and to the whole team for the tremendous efforts and hard work that you have undertaken in the past years to reposition UN Habitat as a reliable, trustworthy, and effective organization. The measures to address the funding gap and strategically engage member states to increase their financial contributions have led to positive changes, and we congratulate you for that. We truly hope that current and future contributions will continue this positive development from 22. Germany will continue to support the vital work of UN Habitat in advancing sustainable urban development, making cities livable and, of course, climate friendly. For us, it is of vital importance that UN Habitat works within its solid mandate, and all this was yesterday expressed also by my State Secretary. For this, for us it's also very important to back up our financial commitment, our political commitment, and to let this go together. So we provided a non-earmarked funding amounting to €1 million last year and will contribute the same amount for this year. We are proud to host UNITAC, the UN Innovation Technology Accelerator for Cities in Hamburg, as well as the Secretariat of the Global Water Operators Alliance, the GWOPA, in Bonn. And of course, the positioning of and posting of at least one JPO, the Junior Professional Officer also from Germany, is also expression of our commitment and support to UN Habitat. Let me say that despite the positive developments and successes, we are concerned that the financial situation of UN Habitat remains tense and hindering, of course, somehow also the implementation of the strategic plan and fulfilling the mandate given to UN Habitat by us, the member states. So we encourage UN Habitat to continue its engagement in fundraising activities, as we have also heard right now. And we are also calling upon our fellow member states to provide non-earmarked funding in favor of UN Habitat's vital role for sustainable urban development worldwide. Let me just, concluding, pass to the video and the journey we have just seen right now. And in this context, we very much welcome again that UN Habitat gets involved in the field of urban reconstruction in the Ukraine. Germany therefore intends to support UN Habitat in this context with earmarked funding for these activities, and we are happy to confirm again that we are willing to contribute up to 7 million euro for this and next year. We also support UNITAC for a project which works towards inclusive, smart and resilient urban recovery in the Ukraine. Let me just conclude that we believe that this commitment has the potential to be catalytic for UN Habitat in this important task. And thank you very much. I'm very keen to take part in this session right now. Thanks.
Thank you very much for your kind words and encouragement, and we will keep working hard to mobilize resources and implement our mandate. Now we have the honor to hear from Republic of Korea. Welcome to the stage.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I express my appreciation to Madam Maimuna Mod Sharif, ED, for her kind invitation to donor appreciation session. It is my pleasure to attend the session on behalf of the Korea government. UN Habitat has been strongly committed to and actively delivered its mission of creating a better urban future for all, and the Korean government has been a strong supporter of its mission and efforts. Since the end of the Korean War 70 years ago, Korea transformed both its economy and cities. Korea turned itself from a low-skilled agriculture country to the ICT leader. I think that Korea can be a best practice of international society. Building on this experience, the Korean government is collaborating with UN Habitat to support the international community facing poverty and urban issues. In this gathering of donors, I'd like to propose smart cities as a focus area for utilization of contributions amid for sustainable urban development. Smart cities do not necessarily require expensive infrastructure. If smart solutions are utilized to address urban issues and solve city problems, it constitutes a smart city in itself. To the members of the UN Habitat and all donors, I sincerely ask your interest and participation in smart cities, which are crucial for sustainable urban development. And lastly, I want to say that the money itself is not important for our collaboration. I want to convey and deliver our courage to overcome our obstacles. And I think the international society can do that with collaboration with others. And then I can promise that our government and Korea government will be a friend of international society. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your remark. Indeed, it's not only about money, it's also the importance of international collaboration for development. Then we will also have the honor now to hear from Sweden. And thank you. Coming to the stage, please. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Evening. Good day. Dear colleagues, I thank you very much for this kind of invitation to this event, and I'm so happy to be here in Nairobi and in this very well-arranged assembly. UN Habitat is an important partner to Sweden, and we have had a close cooperation for decades now. Sweden, through the ministry, which I represent, the Swedish Embassy here in Nairobi, and the Swedish Government Development Agency, SIDA. Together as Team Sweden, we are able to contribute to development processes in many ways, such as through UN Habitat's role within the UN system, your work with at the global, regional and country levels, the promotion of principles and global norms, and through the work of UN Habitat's partners in cities and communities all around the world. The main objective of Swedish international development cooperation is to create opportunities for better living conditions for people living in poverty and under oppression. The current Swedish contribution through SIDA's Global Cooperation Agreement contributes to overall a little more than $20 million for the implementation of normative activities in UN Habitat's strategic plan. And SIDA has also contributed to the organizational reform, the COVID response program, and the Global Land Tool program. In the global support, we stress the importance of UN Habitat's work with strengthening climate action and improving the urban environment, in reducing inequalities and upgrading informal and slum areas, improving access to basic services, especially by the poor in cities. Besides the global support, SIDA has 4 current bilateral project agreements with UN Habitat. That's in Bolivia and Zimbabwe, and in Ethiopia and Somalia. UN Habitat, I would say, is a very small agency relative to its huge mandate. However, our dialogues with the implementing partners always confirm that UN Habitat is very much appreciated for its work. And the UN Habitat plays a very important role within the UN family, not least in its potential to contribute to transformation at the country level. UN Habitat's normative and operational mandate gives a comparative advantage in this respect. It is, therefore, a form of privileged relationship that we as Team Sweden have with the UN Habitat, that we have many channels of collaboration with the agency, and we can appreciate and understand the complexities of UN Habitat's normative and operational mandate. So this also underscores the importance we give to the issue of sustainable cities and urbanization, and to the mandate of UN Habitat. So it's, of course, my sincere hope that we will continue our support to and our good collaboration with this very impressive organization for many, many years forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thanks for the continued support from Sweden to our normative work and the implementation of strategic plan. Now we have another video that's voices from our other type of donors, including foundations, local authority, and private sector.
Greetings from the Adaptation Fund. I'm honored to speak on behalf of the fund. Supporting urban adaptation and building community resilience are significant areas of the Adaptation Fund's work. As a project funder, we've been fortunate to work with UN Habitat on a variety of effective adaptation projects over the years, currently amounting to 14 projects and programs and growing. For example, 2 are underway now that are increasing urban resilience of communities which are highly vulnerable to climate change and disaster risks in the small island developing states of Fiji and Solomon Islands. In Fiji, the project is building community-level resilience and climate responses of informal settlements to risks from extreme weather, sea level rise, flooding, droughts, and intense storms. In Solomon Islands, the the project is raising climate awareness and enhancing capacity development training, disaster risk reduction, and responses in communities while contributing to wider goals of building climate resilience among women, youth, and urban farmers. These projects and others implemented by UN Habitat also contribute to averting and minimizing further loss and damage from climate change. We look forward to continuing this important work with UN Habitat in the years to come. Thank you.
Both UN Habitat and Pantau are deeply committed to promote young people's well-being in cities in a way that they actively engage in urban governance and planning and digital engagement. We believe deeply that for cities to be fit for young people, it's absolutely critical for them to be involved in all aspects of urban life. Driven by this shared goal and belief, we collaborate closely with UN Habitat in programs like the Youth 2030 Cities and the Young Game Changer Initiative, as well working closely together as a partner around young people's engagement in cities with the World Urban Forum, the next one being in Cairo in 2024. And together, we really can create a new enabling environment for young people to thrive, and therefore to have a vision for creating cities that are fit for all.
Saludos desde Euskadi. Queríamos aprovechar esta oportunidad para poner en valor el trabajo que desde el Gobierno vasco y ONU Habitat venimos desarrollando desde hace aproximadamente 4 años. Y el primer objetivo que tuvimos fue formular, redactar y aprobar nuestra agenda urbana, la Agenda Buchatu 2050, una agenda que está alineada con el resto de agendas nacionales e internacionales. Junto con ello, desde ONU Habitat se nos ayudó en la organización de la Euskadiría, que es el congreso internacional que celebramos en Euskadi cada año, y en el cual intentamos tratar temas relacionados con el territorio y con las personas. Quisiera también resaltar la colaboración de ONU Habitat en la Secretaría Técnica del Foro de Participación de la Agenda 2050, que ha derivado también en convertirse en un grupo de trabajo del Foro Multigente de la Agenda 2030. Y para terminar, hay un hito que realmente para nosotros es ilusionante e importante, ha sido el acuerdo entre el Gobierno de España, el Gobierno vasco y la propia ONU Habitat, que ha permitido que la sede mundial de la Oficina Local de Agenda 2030 esté ubicada en la vía de Bilbao, en nuestra tierra. Creo que son hitos suficientes para remarcar, reconocer y agradecer el trabajo realizado y sobre todo para trasladar un compromiso, una vocación de seguir trabajando juntos para conseguir que Euskadi sea una tierra más habitable, más sostenible y que vayamos cumpliendo poco a poco con los objetivos de desarrollo sostenible que están en nuestra mesa. Un saludo a todos, a todas y que nos vaya bien.
My name is Thomas Bichler, CEO of Doppelmayr, the global cable car manufacturer serving 90+ countries. Doppelmayr proudly partners with UN Habitat to address the pressing need for mobility transformation. Our goal, eliminating poverty by enhancing accessibility to work, education and social services. Enter cable cars, the affordable, integrated solution taking mobility to new heights. With a minimal footprint, cable cars effortlessly integrate into dense settlements, igniting eco-social well-being in city neighborhoods and local communities. Experience reliable, safe and high-performance urban transportation for all with cable cars, the epitome of sustainable mobility. Doppelmayr is committed to shaping a better urban future in collaboration with UN Habitat. Together, we build the cities of our dreams.
It is very encouraging to hear from foundations, local authority, and the business as well. To diversify our donor bases is also one of our resource mobilization strategies. Now, let's welcome Mr. Neil Cole, Special Advisor to the Executive Director and Director of External Relations Strategy, Knowledge and Innovation Division, to share with us some introduction of the innovative funding and financing mechanisms. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Shusai, and thank you all once again on behalf of the Executive Director for all your continued support of UN Habitat. Colleagues, as you all know, in the second session of the Executive Board meeting in 2019, the Executive Board asked the Executive Director to adopt innovative financing ways to diversify the financing resources of UN Habitat. And so our mission really is to be results-based, to be efficient, transparent, accountable, to maximize the grants and investments return on value as we partner with all of you. So the first step the Executive Director did, as you all know, when she came on board, she inherited a negative core budget of $8 million. We found 797 unclosed grants and other issues, other audit issues. You'll be glad to know that we have resolved all of that and that we now have a very healthy reserve of $29 million, which we hope will be remain as reserves. So going forward, we believe we are in a very much better state. Donor reporting, as you know, has also improved tremendously. We believe that in order to regain the trust of member states, to regain the trust of donors, we have to be transparent and accountable. And we're taking active steps to do so. With regards to innovative finance, we have implemented 3 main initiatives. The first, as you know, member states have asked us to help cities and countries bridge the infrastructure gap. And of course, this is not monies that are coming to UN Habitat, but these are monies going to finance projects on the ground. And for this, we had a roundtable meeting at the 10th session of the World Urban Forum in Abu Dhabi, hosted by Abu Dhabi Global Markets, and we have created the Cities Investment Facility. So basically, when I first arrived here, before this I was with the Finance Ministry of Malaysia, particularly looking at the investment arm of the government. So I found a beautiful library of wonderfully well-planned, well-managed plans, etc. So I merely asked my colleagues how many of those plans have been implemented, and so it was very difficult to get an answer. So we realized that yes, our mandate is to support member states, to support local governments, develop integrated plans linking spatial and economic development, but very few of those plans are actually backed up by an investment plan. So they are not really investment ready. And so that is the main purpose of the Cities Investment Facility. It is really to help build capacity at the local level so that city managers are better able to attract the right kind of investors. So once again, it is also intimately linked with the SDG Cities work led by my colleague Dyford Aubrey. The whole idea here is not just to get any kind of investments, but to get investments that will contribute to the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals. And that is the birth of the SDG Cities flagship. We have also revised the World Urban Campaign, with a very clear objective of harnessing the energy and the power of the private sector. And the Executive Director had launched a new campaign entitled 1,000 Cities, 1 Billion Lives. So we don't want to just talk about building and streets, but ultimately want to talk about how to better people's lives and improve the quality of life. So with the new World Urban Campaign, we are looking at several key initiatives. First, city impactful projects through the City Investment Facility. Second, the implementation of tangible urban projects. Third, the development of expert topics to improve knowledge. Fourth, impact learning to build capacity on the ground. And finally, impact advocacy to promote the best solutions to advance better cities and promote city champions. So the World Urban Campaign is not just limited to advocacy, but really to help cities and communities translate urban policies into practice. But last but not least, a very innovative third-party, private sector-driven solution to contribute to our core funding is the Sustainable Human Settlements Foundation. You know, it is almost impossible to reach out to the private sector and say, please donate to our core funds. And it was also very important to be extraordinarily transparent. We've had several meetings with the executive board. We have made sure very carefully a risk assessment, etc., for this third-party vehicle. Yeah, and most importantly, we have also ensured that the relationship between us and the promoters of the Sustainable Human Settlements Foundation is transparently evaluated by the Office of the Controller as well as by the Executive Board. But more importantly, the reason why any contribution from the Sustainable Human Settlements Foundation will be regarded as core contribution is so that the oversight of the use of the funds will be by the Executive Board and align with the work program, which is also endorsed or approved by the Executive Board. So this way, we are able to leverage contributions from the private sector, which are not grants, but actually investments. So to say a few words about the Sustainable Human Settlements Foundation, let me invite Mr. Grant Rogan, the founder and CEO, to elaborate a little bit about the Sustainable Human Settlements Foundation. Over to you, Grant.
Thank you, Neil. First of all, I'd like to thank UN Habitat for an incredible organizing this event. It's fantastic to be here. Secondly, I'd like to thank you, donors, Your Excellencies, for all the support that you've given to Habitat today. Our journey began at WOOF 2020 in Abu Dhabi with a meeting with the Executive Director, Dr. Cora Neil, and the team. That journey resulted in the foundation being established in February of 2021. Since that time, we've been working very closely with the Office of Legal Affairs in New York, as well as Legal Affairs at UN Habitat, with the UN Controller directly in his office in New York, as well as the team here. We've had an opportunity to meet some fantastic people in that during that process. We're ready to go. What we're seeking to do is raise $1 billion as investment. Our model, and this is in partnership with Lloyds Bank as a first partner, the model is essentially to invest into established investment-grade securities in your own countries. If the donations are substantial, it is structured as a fund of funds. So if we were fortunate to be blessed with a substantial donation from one or more, that money could actually be invested back into your economy, into your own securities, your own cities, through municipal bonds, et cetera. But the investment criteria is it must be investment grade. It must carry Moody's or a Standard & Poor's or Fitch's investment grade for the security. The structure is essentially a 10-year investment note that will yield 6% a year. Of the 6%, we will return half of that to the investor. The other half will then go to support UN Habitat's unearmarked budget requirements. Our hope is that the billion is raised, that it will generate $25 million a year. We are waiting for final sign-off from the Executive Board. I hope we'll get this week. I hope. It is a pleasure to come to Nairobi, but I'm joined here, by the way, by my co-founder and wife, Catherine, and our daughter. Our son arrives tonight because it's about them. It's about the future. So we look forward to engaging with you. We hope you will engage with us. We want to get going. We are committed to try this year to donate $5 million to UN Habitat. That's our target, but we need the consent and final sign-off of you to allow us to do that. The bankers are ready. The investment committee is ready. We also would like to extend an invitation to member states to come on the advisory board to support the principle of good governance and oversight. We have agreed a reporting requirement every quarter to the executive board, and I know that I think you've promised every 6 months, I believe. So we're trying to keep it as open book. The investments themselves and the funds are public monitoring. We have put into place what we call a traffic light system. If everything's fine, everything's green. If we have a problem with one of the investments, it's yellow, and then we have certain steps that we correct in a certain time frame to correct it. If there's a major problem and it goes red, then there's another protocol to deal with that. It's designed, too, that if there's concerns on the governance, donors, investors can sell and pull out of the investment. It's a normal investment model if you were to buy stocks and bonds and we're treating it that way. What this does is it allows, for some donors that are looking at using existing foreign aid budgets where they cannot see a return, we would hope that you'll let us take all the profit and pass it over to support UN Habitat. Finally, we are establishing an educational partnership with University College of London. We have agreed in principle. ED, Neil, and a delegation team met with them last March. The idea is that we will fund 10 scholarships a year for a one-year master's in science. There are 7 subjects in sustainability. UCL has one of the finest departments, schools in sustainability. Upon completion of that, we will then pay for a one-year internship with UN Habitat, where key critical manpower issues or shortages exist today. The foundation will pay for that, and that's our contribution and journey on this. But we believe if we can do that, we can create a train the trainers for the next generation. With that, I thank you very much for your time and consideration.
Thank you very much, Mr. Grant Rogan. And now let's invite the coordinator of SDG Cities program, David Aubrey, to the stage and share with us some exciting results in the resource mobilization side for the program.
Thanks very much. So SDG Cities is a kind of accelerator for SDGs in cities. It works with the principle of a national hub with certain experts, and it helps cities across the cycle of data to strategic planning, to strengthening local institutions and investing in impact. So we've, as mentioned earlier, Norway has contributed to setting up a program in Ghana. We're also discussing various programs in other places. In Portugal, for instance, they will also create a hub in Mafra, which will work across 77 municipalities there. So the ball is rolling on this, but an interesting new dynamic has been specialist windows, and we have now women-led cities, which only 5% of the world's cities are led by women. But research shows that when women lead cities, the inequality reduces. So we want to get behind that, and we're very privileged to have Luisa Trajano with us earlier this week, and also Tiziana, who are supporting the mobilization of this and working on the principle of investing directly into the project. So the mention earlier of the pledge of Luisa is really about investing directly in the projects and driving impact. So we have a video from them, and later I'll call colleagues who are representing these two. Thank you.
Olá, eu sou Luisa Trajano, presidente do Conselho do Magazine Luiza, uma rede de varejo no Brasil com mais de 1.300 lojas e muito forte também no digital. Sou também presidente do Grupo Mulheres do Brasil, um grupo que está fazendo 10 anos e que trabalha profundamente as causas da mulher em todos os segmentos. Eu sou uma política não partidária, mas acredito que leis públicas é que mudam o país. Eu fui convidada pela UN Habitat para ajudar a coordenar globalmente um movimento que eu estou acreditando muito, que é o empoderamento e cada vez mais a capacitação das mulheres. Eu acredito que isso é muito importante. É um projeto global, onde eu tenho a honra, conversando várias vezes com Maimuna, eu fico muito feliz de estar com ela, uma pessoa profundamente comprometida. A gente concluiu que nós temos que fazer acontecer. Por isso nós já traçamos para o mundo 2 propostas de fazer acontecer. Uma que é violência contra a mulher, que tem em todo lugar do mundo. E a outra que é pular para 50%, é ter 50% de mulheres, tanto em cargos públicos como administrativos, empresas privadas, no topo. A gente vai trabalhar as prefeituras de cada cidadezinha desse mundo e vamos começar por 3 países fazendo o teste. Mas nós vamos fazer acontecer, colocar a mão na massa, para depois a gente conseguir entender o que poderia ser multiplicado o mais rápido possível. Eu confio plenamente, agradeço a confiança e prometo trabalhar arduamente junto com o Grupo Mulheres do Brasil e com todos que estão envolvidos nesse projeto, para que a gente realmente mude o mundo, que o mundo está precisando. Eu tenho certeza que o feminino vai ajudar muito.
This program invests and provides mentorship to small-scale social business running. I am Tiziana. I am a non-conformist social entrepreneur who believes in the power of cooperation to solve complex problems such as poverty. To demonstrate my commitment, my personal investments portfolio is 100% impact investment. In 2017, I founded the NGO Somzoom with the goal of reducing inequality and to end poverty through entrepreneurship. Somzoom means we are one. We are joining all efforts with women-led city, and we believe UN Habitat and UNCDF principles and competence could promote outcomes with total agree and support. We develop programs in line with UN Habitat and UNCDF that aim to solve social problems at the base of the pyramid. As an impact pollinizer, I will contribute to development of female entrepreneurship, focusing women live in the outskirts of vulnerable regions, and I also will work for the awakening of the female energy in women that are in leadership position by promoting inner development journeys. I believe in the balance of feminine and masculine energy to create the economy that we believe and reach our SDGs. Furthermore, Zoom's business model will be available to be replicated by Ellen Partner worldwide. Zoom is a program developed by Somzoom in cooperation with UNO Social Business and Trade Investments with Purpose. This program invests and provides mentorship to small-scale social business run by women of the North and Northeast regions of Brazil. With the pledge to mobilize $5 million along with El Impacta Alliance to the cause of women-led cities, we will be able to carry out the objectives and initiatives to achieve great results. Thank you very much.
I'm just calling for Liana Freire and Natalia Diaz, who are part of the network and representing those two ladies. And just also as another mention that we have a commitment from the Global Sustainability Index Foundation and UNSDG to support 44 cities in Tunisia for the SDG cities and to support the piloting of SDG city certification. But maybe you can just say thank you and then we'll leave the stage.
Thank you. Thank you, David. Thank you. It's really a great pleasure to be here in this special session, joining all these institutions to demonstrate our support to UN Habitat and Maimuna through women-led cities, bringing this new approach of partnership with private sector and women business leaders integrating Global Impact Alliance to deploy impact investing to drive local impact and better people lives. So I will invite.
Thank you. Well, it is a pleasure to be here with you and to continue to support UN Habitat in this very, very important initiative. The SDG cities is the one that makes UN's overall strategy of localizing SDGs possible in a very tangible way. By adding the gender lens to the SDG 11, we intend to support women to lead the transformation at the city level, the transformation that we need. As a representative of one of the largest local development banks in the Global South, the Brazilian Development Bank, I'm very much interested to work with UN Habitat and with the private sector to leverage, to come up with innovative solutions using blended finance instruments to actually leverage the participation of the private sector to help us to deploy such an important initiative. So we are working together with El Impacta, with UN Habitat, to actually fast forward the implementation of the SDGs through the lens of the women. And we hope that we can continue to have the support of every single one of you that is joining us today in this important initiative. Thank you.
Thank you very much for all of your kind words and support. Now let's invite Mr. Neil Cole again to close the session.
Thank you very much, Susai. And of course, we have in the room the government of Japan, our very staunch supporter. And I would like to acknowledge the government of Japan for their support as well. And of course, all other colleagues who are here. Portugal, thank you so much as well for the core contribution. Colleagues, you know, as a last part of the pitch, as you have heard, we are trying innovative ways to raise funding, whether it's through a third-party initiative or through collaboration with philanthropists. We are very open in this. And to help all my other colleagues who are here, we have, you will find the Investing in Sustainable Urbanization book brochure here. To save paper, everything has a QR code, and my colleague Adelam is already left, but one of the first packages is for urban data. So this is very important. We have a new collaboration with the Economist group on urban data work. So please take a look at it. They are all various packages, and the final one, of course, you will find the trust fund to support the convening of the assembly, the various executive board meetings of member states as well. So please take a look at it. We also have a special package for our work in Africa, in the Middle East, in conflict areas, and yes, Bruno, I saw you also in the Asia Pacific region. So we encourage this continuous collaboration with you. We are very, very happy to see member states stepping up with regards to core contributions. And please, we have a small donors terrace behind CR1, and there I offer donuts for donors. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time. If you're interested to know more, we have a lounge behind if you want to have some informal conversation. We also have donors terrace. A correction is behind conference room 2. And you can always find us there. And we have donuts for donuts. Thank you very much.